The establishment of reincarnation. Although Demon Lord Hong Jun avoided the eldest sister, he was not idle. Behind the scenes, he acted recklessly, manipulating and recruiting siblings from the Lizard Clan, Bee Clan, Serpent Clan, Dinosaur Clan, Eagle Clan, Gorilla Clan, and others to do evil. He spread negative energy and fear, preaching the law of the jungle and the concept of survival of the fittest. It was he who created this terrifying ideology. Many began to notice the growing number of disappearances and became anxious. Gradually, uninformed siblings, out of self-preservation, also began to attack and devour others. The chaos spread exponentially 1 to 10, 10 to 100, and so on. Their force grew so large that they launched a joint attack on the plant-formed families. In the first attack, over 30,000 family members were taken. Maple was furious and immediately demanded their return, and they were released. In the second attack, over 80,000 were taken. Maple again intervened, and at the time, the perpetrators still had some self-control. They even promised to change and not commit the same mistakes again. Moved by compassion, Maple chose to trust them. She frequently visited, offering emotional support, helping them detox and purify their energy. Eventually, seeing them slowly recover their light and return to normal, she relaxed and stopped monitoring them closely. However, Maple underestimated the strength of the darkened energy. After a prolonged period of seeming calm, the Dark Souls launched a full-scale comeback. Seizing the opportunity during her absence, they captured more than 68 million bright souls, abducting and imprisoning every single one of them. Learning from their previous failures, the evil reptilians secretly invented a prison-like spacer cosmic cage equivalent to 18 solar systems combined. This marked the beginning of what would later become the Reincarnation system. First 2 entries of Maple's 9 entries into Reincarnation. Seeing the worsening situation and how the darkened children had lost their moral compass, the Mother Goddess and Maple tried to reason with them 3 times. Each time, they promised to repent, but their hearts remained obstinately blind. This devastated the Mother Goddess. To her, every child was precious. Her boundless love led her into deep thought and eventually into a long slumber. Unwilling to give up, Maple, without informing the Mother Goddess, decided to venture alone into the reincarnation realm to investigate. At the time, the system was not yet sophisticated and all were simply trapped in one massive cage. The first 2 times, Maple entered without concealing her identity. She managed to rescue 137,400 souls. Naturally, the darkened beings tried to stop her, leading to intense battles. Yet, Maple's compassionate nature prevented her from fighting at full strength. She always held back, still hoping that her darkened siblings might one day awaken. After the second rescue, Maple began to consider how to truly awaken the darkened souls. She realized that fighting them head-on would only lead to mutual destruction, something she desperately wanted to avoid. However, those souls had already fallen completely into darkness and refused to listen. Many even shut their doors to her entirely. Another 6 entries of Maple's 9 entries into Reincarnation. After careful thought, Maple resolved, if they refuse to see her and even fleeing at the mere sight, then she will change her appearance so they won't recognize her. Moreover, this new form must inspire reverence and draw them toward her. For the first time since her transformation, Maple acted boldly, though it was a benevolent deception. She transformed herself into 2,500 manifestations of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, all crystal clear and transparent, with radiant halos above their heads and ever-changing colors. None had names. Once ready, she and her manifestations passed through the demon territory as if just traveling. The darkened beings were astounded. They had never seen such forms. A lizard being eagerly approached and questioned her. Maple said nothing, only smiled. Intrigued, he warmly invited her to his home. Maple silently agreed. Upon arrival, she and her avatars sat cross-legged on lotus thrones, eyes closed, dignified and radiant. As the demon tribe assembled, she gently wielded her powers. Petals drifted down like a soft rain, fragrant and graceful, while a radiant light emanated from her brow, illuminating the entire space-time and piercing through the stars. This spectacle rendered them speechless with awe. Impressed by her divine powers, many begged to learn from her. Maple said, "The mind creates reality. Freedom comes from a pure heart. All beings are equal. Everything is possible." When asked her name, Maple replied, "With form, but without name. Neither coming nor going." She told them directly that they had strayed from the right path, and urged them to turn back. She spoke profound truths, not the distorted teachings of future false Buddhas. After several exchanges, they gave her the name Amitabha Buddha, and to her avatars, names like Guanyan, Bodhisattva, etc. In fact, all the original Buddha and Bodhisattva titles were high praises given by the demon and monster clans, not names Maple chose herself. Eventually, about 1/5 of the darkened siblings, over 28 million, chose to return. Maple was overjoyed. However, she did not keep up the Buddha form for long and made up a reason to leave. With so many willing to come back, she had to help heal them. 12 other siblings helped gather herbs. Healing was a long process, requiring trial and error until Maple was confident they were fully cured. While she was busy, the demon and monster clans, a name the negative reptilian clans gave themselves, intensified their torment and energy extraction from the captives. Those with strong energy were called demons, such as lizards, crocodiles, and bees, while the weaker ones were known as monsters, including serpents, dinosaurs, and tigers, etc. At the same time, the reincarnation system became more advanced, increasing its seals and restrictions. This concludes a brief summary of Maple's first 8 rescues. At that time, although the captives were trapped within the reincarnation system, they still retained their original forms. However, as their energy gradually diminished, lower dimensional spaces began to form, with Earth being one such world that gradually took shape during this period. Meanwhile, the sealing techniques used by the darkened beings became increasingly sophisticated.